Hi guys, welcome to Blind Man Plays. I'm Jared Walters and it is absolutely fantastic to be back with you. I am presenting you with a new series all about how to experience retro content on your modern gaming hardware, including your PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch or PC via Steam. So we're exploring different curations of content from yesteryear, whether it's the HD collections or some of these new collections that have come out. This is actually episode 2 because episode 1 was in 2 parts. So this is episode 2 of modern retro gaming, and we are going to be talking about the Sega Mega Drive collection, but not in the way I thought. Hi guys, this is Jared the Blind Gamer. So basically, when I came up with this concept, I decided to do a few episodes early, and my first venture was obviously, as you saw last week, the Cowabunga collection, and my next port of call was going to be a 4-video look and deep dive into the Sega Mega Drive collection, an absolute classic collection which depicted a quintessential 90s Sega kids sitting room with posters and with all sort of different bits and pieces, and you had a curated library of over 50 absolutely brilliant Mega Drive games, some of the all-time classics from that era, including some of the greatest Sonic games, Streets of Rage 1, 2 and 3, Golden Axe 1, 2 and 3, Vector Man. We had an Alex Kidd game in the middle of it. So all like these sort of iconic franchises, Toe Jam and Earl, Phantasy Star. This was an absolutely amazing curation of Sega games, and you even had some arcade classics such as eSWAT, Wonder Boy. I think one of the Wonder Boys was an arcade classic. Altered Beast. Obviously Golden Axe was an arcade port. You had some really brilliant diverse games there, and Afterburner was another one. Shinobi. Just so many great games, and literally I had made the first couple of videos ready to go out this year, and Sega went and pulled it. Sega, what the hell were you thinking? This was a curation of some of the best games. You had hidden gems like Alien Storm, the 90s alien shooter that made you feel like you were playing as Action Elvis. Look at this guy. This guy is... Look at the picture of him down below. That is Elvis. See, you had Action Elvis Sega, for God's sake. Also, we've lost some hidden gems from the Sonic collection because Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine are no longer available. Some of these games are like quintessential Sega games which are no longer available on modern consoles, and it's absolutely crazy why they have chosen to do this. It's been about a month, and we know that Sega are making some changes. They're going to create some remakes, they're going to create some, but at the end of the day, you know, if I'm playing a remake or the original, as we will demonstrate next week with next week's feature of this series, you know, sometimes people will go for both. You don't have to take something away for people to, you know, have something new. So, what am I going to do? Well, guys, I'm not going to waste the time that I captured all this footage because it took me a long time. So I want to eulogize this moment, right? I bought the Sega Mega Drive collection, and I'm one of the lucky ones. Because I bought it, I can still play it, I can have access to it. You know, if you have bought this game and perhaps it's been sat in your library for a little while, then this is an encouragement for you to go and explore it while you still have the chance. You have the Golden Axe trilogy. Like, it plays absolutely perfectly, including the third game, which was only released in Japan. It's all been sort of translated into English. It plays absolutely brilliant. Streets of Rage, Skate, Axel and Blaze and Co., the quintessential console beat-em-up trilogy. You know, the great fight against Mr. X, creating justice for all the only way they know how, by beating up thugs, dominatrix, fat people and punks. Streets of Rage was an absolute banger of a game back in the day, and it is actually, since we've had like the Beats of Rage engine and the resurgence of Streets of Rage 4 and things like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, the beat 'em up is making a resurgence. This is a time to be honouring and, you know, doing something more with our retro games collection. You know, there's just so much bullshit that surrounds all this. You know, look at the articles with Nintendo, for example. The actual ironic thing is, the only place you can play some of these games now is actually on Nintendo Switch, because they're available in the Nintendo Store. I think some of them might be available as like standalones on the Xbox and PlayStation Marketplace. However, I am not too sure. Maybe I should have researched that before making this video. But hey, I wasn't expecting Sega to do me over, or do the rest of us over either. Yeah, I'm taking this very, very personally, Sega. But okay, fair enough. You know, but even if we can play the classics like the Golden Axe trilogy or the Streets of Rage trilogy, what about games like Gunstar Heroes? Gunstar Heroes is an absolute classic. It's so much fun to play. It is basically a side-scrolling Western alien shoot-'em-up. You know, absolutely fantastic, fantastic game. We lost hidden gems like Comic Zone, Dynamite Headdy, Crackdown, Columns 1 and 3, Bonanza Brothers. You know, these are games that, you know, we're probably not going to see on a collection anytime soon. And you know, even the Fantasy Stars, we had Fantasy Star 2, 3 and 5 on this collection. You know, the Shining Force games. These are games that, you know, Vector Man games, the 2D Sega Mega Drive version of Virtual Fighter. You know, there's so many games here that were like hidden gems. There was the Sega Mega Drive collection was a curation of some of the best that Sega had to offer, from the franchises that we know and love to, you know, little games that, you know, tried something new. Like, for example, although it didn't get, you know, many good sort of reviews at the time, games like Comic Zone, for example, it tried something new, it tried something different. You know, it tried something that had not been done before, and I think it's just really sad that, unfortunately, we're not going to get to play these games in the way that was presented here. Sonic 3D Blast, for example. Like, I couldn't play Sonic 3D Blast. I've tried it through emulation. I've tried it through this. It messes my eyesight for some reason. Sonic Spinball, you know, is not in the other Sonic collections. Yes, okay, it's not the greatest Sonic game of all time, but it's certainly better than some of the other offerings that we've seen over the last, you know, several decades of Sonic releases, and it's something good to have, you know, in your collection. And you know, this is a beautiful way of us having access to a real good chunk of a classic library of games. And you know, publishers complain about why people emulate, or why people use emulation to curate and to preserve their game collections. This is why, you know, because the industry sadly can't be relied upon to do this. In my opinion, games are an artwork. They're an art form. They're an expression of a certain time, a certain place, a certain state of mind, a certain culture, and there's definitely, you know, we are definitely seeing a lot more people now turning back towards the retro stuff because it's more fun. Because of all this pay-to-win bollocks that we're seeing in gaming nowadays. You know, because of the ability of just being able to pick up and play. This is why you're seeing all these sort of random machines made in China on your sort of Temu, or, you know, on your Facebook feed, basically, you know, 500 or 5,000 games in one, etc., etc., because people still like to play these games. And denying your audience that library because you want to do something else with it, you know, I can understand, obviously, wanting to remake. Jesus Christ, you know, apparently there's a Golden Axe TV show coming out. So if Sega want to release content with that, fair enough. You know, if we want to do an updated version of Golden Axe, and you make it good, hey, you know, I'm all for it. Same with Streets of Rage. But are we going to see an updated version of Comic Stone, or Gunstar Heroes, or, you know, Toe Jam and Earl, or Vector Man? Are we going to be able to play the 2D version of Virtua Fighter? You know, for most of these, unfortunately, the answer is going to be no. So, these games are lost to the annals of time, where they can be so easily, where they can be so easily preserved. The emulation on this collection was brilliant. It was the quintessential modern way of experiencing classic games. And unfortunately now it's gone. So why is Sega doing this? Well, they've not really given any sort of official reason as far as I'm aware. However, this might have changed. If it has changed, please let me know in the comments below. And if you are enjoying this video, please do me a solid and subscribe to this channel, as we are exploring retro games on modern consoles at the moment, and more videos are going to be coming very, very soon. It's just taken me a while to sort of get things up and running with other things that I am doing as well. This is a passion project, and basically, you know, I've got to do it alongside my mainstream work. But, you know, why are they doing this? Well, partly it's because they want to restructure some of the remakes. I think it's the fact that this collection and curation has been around for so long. And yes, you can get, you know, they've had collections on sort of the PS3 era, the PS2 era, which is great if you still own those consoles and you can still buy those discs, which is, you know, it's fantastic. However, in the new digital age, there is no reason why these should have been removed. Even if you are going for, you know, remakes, I think this is basically a money move. And even some of the Dreamcast classics like Crazy Taxi and Sonic Adventures were also removed from the modern storefronts. Okay, fair enough. If you're going to remaster something, you know, again, you can do both. It's nice sometimes to play, you know, the remaster, but also go back and play the original. The curation also had the standard sort of rewind, where you could rewind your your gameplay, which made things a lot sort of easier from my point of view, sort of getting, because there might be things I didn't see, and you know, it kind of helps. That helped me quite a lot. But sadly, we have lost in the last 30 days a classic modern collection of video games, and you know, there is no real reason why that should have been. However, I am going to give Sega the chance to redeem themselves, because next week, for next week's episode, we are going to be looking at the Sonic Origins Plus collection, and we're going to be seeing whether or not this makes up, even in part, for the loss of the Sega Mega Drive collection. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed. Let us know if you were affected by Sega withdrawing these games. Let us know if you own the Sega Mega Drive collection, and let us know your thoughts of it in the comment section below, and I will see you soon for another video. Take care.